Hey, welcome back to the podcast. I was just diving into some FPI investment data, and it's pretty wild how much things can shift month over month. We're looking at February, March, and April of 2025, and some sectors are all over the place.
Yeah, it's fascinating, right? I mean, FPAs can really make or break a sector's performance. So, what are you seeing in the automobile and auto component sector?
Well, it's not looking great. We've got consistent outflows in February, March, and April. It's like negative 3,969 crore rupees in February, then negative 2,864 crore rupees, and finally negative 3,207 crore rupees. So March saw a slight improvement, but the overall sentiment seems pretty negative.
Right. Consistent outflows suggest that maybe investors are worried about rising material costs or maybe a slowdown in demand. It's like when a stock keeps dropping and everyone just keeps selling.
Exactly. Okay, so next up is capital goods. What's the story there?
Capital goods. So we saw a heavy outflow in February, like negative 4,464 crore rupees. But it seems to be stabilizing. March was negative 299 crore rupees and April was only negative 75 crore rupees.
Okay, so outflows are reducing. That's a positive sign, right? Is it like the sector is slowly regaining investor confidence or something?
Could be. Maybe the companies in that sector are showing signs of, improving efficiency or securing new contracts. It's like when a company announces a new innovative product, investors might see potential for future growth.
That makes sense. Now let's talk about chemicals. I'm seeing some green here, right?
Absolutely. Chemicals are looking good. Steady inflows with April seeing the highest at 875 crore rupees. February was 429 crore rupees and March was 491 crore rupees.
So this sector is attracting FPI interest. Why do you think that is? Like, are they expecting growth in the chemical industry?
Well, the chemical sector is crucial for so many other industries. Everything from agriculture to pharmaceuticals. So it could be investors are betting on the continued demand for chemicals in these sectors.
Okay, next up we have construction. And, it looks like it's not doing so hot.
No, it's not. We have outflows in all months. February at negative 3,351 crore rupees, then negative 249 crore rupees in March, and then back down to negative 2,886 crore rupees in April.
So, March showed a brief improvement, but then it went right back down. What's going on there?
It could be concerns about, rising interest rates impacting real estate demand or maybe delays in major infrastructure projects. It's like when the weather turns bad and all construction stops.
Right. Okay, so moving on to construction materials. It's a bit more optimistic here, right?
Yeah, construction materials are interesting. We see outflows decreasing each month. February was negative 3,844 crore rupees, March was negative 1,597 crore rupees, and April was almost flat at negative 197 crore rupees.
So it's nearly flat in April. Are we seeing a possible turnaround ahead?
Possibly, it could indicate that, companies are managing their costs better, or maybe there's an anticipation of new projects coming up. It's like prepping all your tools and materials just before starting a big job.
Makes sense. Now let's talk about consumer durables.
Consumer durables. Yes. Outflows reducing steadily here too. February negative 2,290 crore rupees, March negative 1,518 crore rupees, and April almost neutral at negative 61 crore rupees.
Almost neutral. So sentiment is improving. What do you think is driving that? Like, are people starting to spend more on appliances and gadgets?
It might be a combination of factors, maybe, like improving consumer confidence or new product launches that are creating buzz. It's like when everyone suddenly wants the latest smartphone.
Totally. Okay, next up is consumer services. This one is interesting because it seems to have made a big jump.
Yeah, a really interesting switch up. We had outflows in February and March, negative 2,857 crore rupees and negative 3,058 crore rupees respectively. But then a strong inflow in April of 1,797 crore rupees.
Wow, that's quite the jump. A possible sectoral shift maybe? What do you attribute that to?
Could be. Maybe investors are seeing potential in, travel, hospitality, or entertainment. It's like when a new tourist destination becomes popular, suddenly everyone wants to invest in hotels and restaurants there.
Makes sense. Now let's talk about diversified. That seems a bit more stable, right?
Yeah, diversified is relatively stable. Small outflows in February and March, negative 251 crore rupees and negative 317 crore rupees respectively, and then a slight inflow in April of 33 crore rupees. So it's stabilizing.
So what does that tell us about that sector?
It suggests that the sector is neither particularly exciting nor particularly risky. It's like a steady, reliable stock that doesn't make huge gains but also doesn't crash.
Got it. Okay, next up is fast moving consumer goods or FMCG. This one is also showing a pretty dramatic shift.
Absolutely. Large outflows in February and March, negative 6,904 crore rupees and negative 5,593 crore rupees respectively. But then a strong inflow in April of 2,917 crore rupees. That's a big sentiment reversal.
Yeah, huge. What's driving that? Are people suddenly stocking up on like snacks and household products?
Well, FMCG is generally considered a defensive sector, so investors might be flocking to it during times of uncertainty. It's like buying groceries when you're not sure what the future holds.
That makes sense. Now, let's get to financial services. I think I know where this is going, but lay it on me.
Oh, buckle up, this one's a roller coaster. Major outflow in February, negative 6,991 crore rupees, then huge inflows in March and April, 14,274 crore rupees and 18,409 crore rupees respectively. Strong positive shift.
Wow, that's insane. What's causing such a dramatic turnaround in financial services?
Well, it could be, a combination of factors like improving economic outlook, rising interest rates benefiting banks, or maybe some regulatory changes that are boosting investor confidence. It's like when a rising tide lifts all boats.
Okay. How about forest materials? I don't see many big changes here.
No, you're right. It's pretty flat. Negative 17 crore rupees in February, then 18 crore rupees in March, and negative 34 crore rupees in April. Low volume sector, no clear trend.
So, not much happening there. Moving on to healthcare. Is that looking healthy?
It's a bit volatile. Outflow in February at negative 1,462 crore rupees. Small inflow in March at 89 crore rupees. And then outflow again in April at negative 728 crore rupees.
So, what's with the volatility? Are there specific factors influencing healthcare investments?
Could be anything, from regulatory changes to drug approvals or maybe some concerns about healthcare costs. It's like when a new drug trial fails and the stock price plummets.
Right. Now, let's talk about information technology or IT. This is a big one.
Yup, and it's not a pretty picture. Inflow in February at 805 crore rupees, then large outflows in March and April, negative 8,451 crore rupees and negative 15,213 crore rupees respectively. Sentiment turned sharply negative.
Wow, those are huge outflows. What's going on with IT? Are people losing faith in the tech sector?
Well, there could be concerns about, rising interest rates impacting growth stocks, or maybe some fears about a slowdown in global IT spending. It's like when the dot-com bubble burst and everyone panicked.
Yikes, that's not good. Okay, so next we've got media, entertainment, and publication.
Small but steady inflows there. 22 crore rupees in February, 446 crore rupees in March, and 112 crore rupees in April. Sector is stable and positive.
So, people are still investing in media and entertainment. Why do you think that is?
Despite all the changes in the media landscape, people still crave content. Plus, the rise of streaming services and digital media is creating new opportunities for growth. It's like when radio adapted to television.
Interesting. Okay, next up is metals and mining.
Highly volatile sector. Outflow in February at negative 1,164 crore rupees. Strong inflow in March at 1,901 crore rupees. Then a big outflow again in April at negative 3,403 crore rupees.
So, a lot of ups and downs. What's causing that volatility in metals and mining?
Well, commodity prices are notoriously volatile and they can be affected by, global economic growth, supply disruptions, or even geopolitical tensions. It's like when a sudden storm disrupts the supply of raw materials.
Right, makes sense. Now, what about oil, gas, and consumable fuels?
Consistent outflows there, but April shows improvement. Negative 3,377 crore rupees in February, negative 3,419 crore rupees in March, and negative 358 crore rupees in April. So negative sentiment easing.
So, the outflows are still there, but they're getting smaller. What could be driving that?
It could be, investors are starting to see some value in the sector, or maybe they're anticipating a rebound in oil prices. It's like when a stock has been beaten down for so long that it starts to look like a bargain.
Okay, now let's talk about power. Are we seeing any sparks there?
Actually, yeah, we might be. Outflows in February and March, negative 3,086 crore rupees and negative 240 crore rupees respectively, but then an inflow in April of 907 crore rupees. The sector may be turning around.
So power is showing some potential. What's driving that?
Well, there's a growing focus on renewable energy and sustainable infrastructure, so investors might be betting on the long-term growth of the power sector. It's like when electric cars started gaining popularity and everyone wanted to invest in charging stations.
Okay, let's switch gears to realty. Any action there?
It's a mixed bag. Outflow in February, inflow in March, and then outflow again in April. No clear trend.
So it's pretty inconsistent. What does that suggest about the realty market?
Well, the real estate market is often influenced by, local factors like interest rates, housing demand, and economic growth. So it's hard to make broad generalizations. Disclaimer: we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
That's fair. Okay, moving on to services.
Inflows in February and March, small outflow in April. Slightly positive overall. Nothing too dramatic.
So a fairly stable sector. Now telecommunications. I heard that's a strong sector.
Absolutely. Strong inflows all months, peaking in February. The sector is favored by FPIs.
What's making it so attractive?
Well, with the increasing reliance on digital communication and data, telecom companies are essential. It's like investing in the pipes that carry all the water.
Okay, what about textiles?
Not so great. Small inflow in February, then outflows in March and April. Weakening sentiment.
What's impacting textiles negatively?
Global competition, changing fashion trends, and maybe some concerns about labor costs. It's like when your favorite shirt suddenly goes out of style.
Okay, let's see. Utilities.
Small outflow in February, then minor inflows. Stabilizing.
So pretty steady.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sovereign.
No FPI activity in this category.
And finally, others.
Consistent inflows, though April is slightly lower. Sector remains positive.
So that's a wrap on the sector-wise FPI investments. It's really interesting to see how much things can change in just a few months. Do you think these trends will continue?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It really depends on a lot of factors like, global economic conditions, interest rates, and investor sentiment. But it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And hey, if you're enjoying this kind of in-depth analysis, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more.
Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.